Welcome to the Self-Employed Tax Credit Program, brought to you by Gig Worker Solutions, powered by Anchor Accounting. Thanks to our simple application and Anchor's thorough and compliant processing, we've been able to process over 500 million in credits for our community. Although working with anything tax-related can feel overwhelming and stressful, we're continuing to fine-tune our processes and resources to make getting your credit as simple as a few clicks. Then you can sit back, relax, and let us do the rest of the work for you. With that said, let's cover exactly what you'll need to proceed and how our process works. You're currently on the homepage of the Gig Worker Solutions portal. From here, you can access the S.E.T.C application from the informational banner at the top center of the page, or the left side navigation panel. You can also visit the Support Center to get help with the S.E.T.C application, or ask follow-up questions once your claim has been successfully filed. Before you get started, you'll need to have your 2020 and 2021 personal tax returns handy so you can correctly see if you qualify. Should you qualify, we'll need to collect copies of these to send to the IRS alongside the tax work we'll be completing to request this credit for you. We'll also need to gather your basic personal information, verify your identity, collect an engagement agreement obtaining your consent to allow us to do the work, and get the information for the account you would like the funds deposited into, all of which are necessary to allow us to correctly and compliantly complete this tax work on your behalf. You'll start with a few initial questions in our calculator tool so that you can self-check your eligibility. After you acknowledge your understanding of the calculator tool and the questions surrounding your eligibility, you'll get an estimate for what your credit might be. Because the information here is submitted entirely by you, the figures shown are subject to change, as the accountants at Anchor will only get to review your submissions in their entirety later in the process. Before you get into the application itself, you'll decide if you want to apply for the advanced funding option with our external program partners, or wait for the IRS to process your amended return. You can decide to change your funding selection later on, but understand approval for the advance option is determined exclusively by our lending partners at Carter Federal Credit Union. For users that elect the advance, you can receive funds in as little as 15 business days, but that depends on how fast you respond to requests we may have and our obtaining of your tax account transcripts to verify you do not currently owe the IRS. The application itself contains the elements we mentioned before and takes the average person about 15 minutes to complete. Lucky for you, there's a more detailed walkthrough video outlining the application at the top of the application checklist page. And even if you get stuck after using the walkthrough video, you can always reach out to the Gig Worker Solutions or Anchor Accounting teams for assistance. At the conclusion of the application, you'll upload your complete and unaltered returns, at which point we can get started confirming your eligibility, building your amended tax filing, and working with the IRS on your behalf. Being that our S.E.T.C program is perhaps one of the only programs that is IRS compliant, we ask for complete returns as opposed to just transcripts to ensure you not only get your credit, but keep your credit too. Services that promise quick approval without any document submission and only depend on tax return transcripts are more than likely non-compliant with IRS guidelines, meaning they may never successfully acquire your funds for you or could even lead to your credit being disallowed and owed back to the IRS. If you encounter issues locating complete and unaltered copies of your returns, you'll need to reach out to the original preparer you used to obtain them, or use tools such as www.findmytaxreturns.com. Once your uploads are accepted, you'll be assigned an S.E.T.C processor, who will be there to answer any questions you have and serve as your success partner throughout the program until the IRS processes your claim. With your S.E.T.C processor at your side, the secure platform of Gig Worker Solutions, and the unparalleled tax compliance of Anchor Accounting Services, the only thing stopping you from getting your self-employed tax credit is you. Finish your application today so we can help you determine your eligibility amount and submit your claim.